I mean, I'm far away and I feel at the same time. So Jace and Crystal presented a case the other day in one of our sessions, and I think I only have a word, resilience and love, that I'm holding right now as a perspective. I don't know whether that's helpful or not, but that's my current resonance, Jace. Resilience and love.
So given what I said before, that the essence of presencing is really connecting with a possibility, kind of a future possibility that looks at you because it depends on you to manifest. So just kind of the sense of a possibility that maybe is connected with my own path forward. So if we take that as a lens, where do you experience that now? So that's a question that each of us can tune into individually. Where is that actually? So moments in my life or situations where I feel that possibility, kind of that is perhaps connected with my future path, that is perhaps connected with what I might step into doing and embodying and co-creating in my own journey forward. And it's also a question that can be responded to collectively as a group or as a network or as an organization or even as a country. So where is it that you experience that? I think kind of sensing into that is a very important activity, and I would love to learn more about that. Is that like of course it is also very much related to art practices perhaps, but where do you experience that, a possibility that looks at you because it depends on you to manifest? The IDG is a very helpful concept that is explaining something that is non-linear to a mindset that still works on a linear level. So it's basically a way of talking about the inner dimension of leadership and the deeper layers of change in a way that makes it accessible in a more regular management or education environment. So I think kind of it is like it's a middle piece. It's a kind of a translation piece from one mindset to the other. What the IDGs are not doing is exactly telling you how, right? How you do that. It's more kind of what it is, but not like how to do it. Because for the how, you actually need a process, right? You kind of need a methodology. And that's, I would say, where theory U comes in and presencing comes in. And the how in theory U is really a process methodology that is about, and a field theory that is about kind of aligning attention, how we attend to what's happening around us, intention, our deeper sense of purpose, and co-creativity, kind of how we move from there to shared agency, kind of to collective creativity together. And so not only as an individual, but how to do that in groups, and how to do that in real life situations together. Social arts, what we mentioned before, are a practice field for that. So that's theory U. And I would say the fourth person knowing is at the heart of theory U is really presencing, right? Kind of that's also what the new book is taking to a somewhat deeper level. But what is presencing? So presencing is about meeting the future in the moment. It's about connecting to the moment in a deeper way that allows us to connect to not only what is, but to emerging future possibilities. That's really what presencing. What is fourth person knowing? Fourth person knowing is related to that, because we learned over many years that in stories of transformation, of change, not just individually, but on the level of organizations and on the level of communities, there is at the bottom of this journey, right? You see kind of, so right here, so there's kind of the first part of the journey is here. You go down the U. That means you open up, right? Kind of you make sense, of everything what happens around you, and this is kind of the move into agency. But in the middle here, there is a moment of nothingness. Kind of there is an opening really, where something, when we are lucky, something is beginning to emerge, and that kind of deeper knowing that comes to surface there, that has different names. So in our various traditions, sometimes it has been referred to as intuition. When it relates to the emerging future, we refer to it as presencing. And in a collective setting, what we learned is that this is a way of tapping into the knowing of the collective. So the knowing of the field, that there is, when we reach the deepest state of our awareness, that we can connect to a larger space of self-knowing, or sometimes we call it the knowing of the field, that if connected with makes all the difference. So what we actually learned is that a transformation, right, in any kind of community is only truly successful if you connect with this deeper sense of knowing, if you connect with this deeper sense of what it is that we are here for together. And I would say any kind of social movement on earth has that as a profound experience. That is what is activating civic agency. I have experienced that in my own life as a young person, and time and again. So it's kind of, you connect into a deeper space of possibility that is much larger than yourself. And you can refer to that as self-transcending, or a trans-subjective knowledge. And I think it's something important to point out, because all our traditional forms of learning are organized around first-person knowledge, so what I experience as a person, around second-person knowing, kind of what we discuss together, kind of any kind of forms of dialogue, and third-person knowing, which is what I can record, objective knowledge, right? What I can record with a camera, what I can see, kind of the world of objects that I can study outside. But as I said, in deeper moments of transformation, there is this kind of deeper layer of collective self-knowing that makes all the difference. And that's something that we believe is a new knowledge form, because I can experience that as an individual, but it's not, it is not of me, it's coming through me. And that is also true for all deep creativity, right? It's not a knowledge that I make up, but it's coming through me. And if that can be sourced from a space of a community, from a space of where we are present together as a collective or as a social field, that is a very important capacity that we as human beings need to cultivate if we want to meet the challenges, the environmental challenges, the social challenges, and economic challenges, but also the inner cultural and spiritual challenges of our time. That's why we wrote that article. And that's also why we believe that research into this field will be very important going forward. And the social arts play a critical role of making that deeper layer of knowing visible to all of us, both in practical situations, but also in the future research we want to conduct.